Hello, my sewing friends. This is Friday Sews.
Woohoo!
I'm Jen. Welcome to my sewing room. This is Friday and Friday Sews, and that's when we talk about sewing and life, kind of things that connect us as people who sew. So I'm going to jump into the sewing and tell you in this room this week, not very much happened, but some productive things did happen that weren't actual sitting at the sewing machine doing the sewing. I finished up New Look 6669. This is a dress with ties at the shoulders. It's a princess seam dress. You can do it shorter or longer, so maxi length or knee length or whatever length you want. Really, we're sewers. We can make it whatever length we want. It is an interesting dress in that you don't use a facing. You do it with a built-in bra, which is kind of cool because you really don't need it with the ties because they're pretty fat and they come all the way up to the top of the shoulders. So your bra strap's really not going to show, but I wanted to show you this. There's the front and the back. I don't know that it's enough to actually function as a built-in bra for most of us, but yeah, I thought that was a nice feature. And the thing is, it's almost like an all-in-one facing because you finish the armholes and the neckline with that, and just makes it so much easier. Anytime I can do that instead of using a facing, I will, because I don't like facings. They tend to want to roll out, and I don't like that. Speaking of which, this has pockets, which is great. It is a maxi. I made that length. This is a drapey kind of silky knit from Hobby Lobby. Might have some rayon in it. I don't remember. But my issue with it is that the neckline, even though I've understitched it, it wants to roll to the outside. So I will probably go and top stitch that because I don't like that. I don't want it to do that. So yeah, I think that's all it's going to take. So that is all the sewing that got done. But I am one of those people who, when I die, what you will find in the pockets of my clothing are a used tissue and a grocery list with all but 2 or 3 things checked off. It's my legacy, what can I say? I get a little obsessive about checking things off of lists, and I don't get overly upset about it when I can't accomplish everything or get everything on the list, but it does kind of hang with me and, you know, kind of blocks things sometimes. You know, what I've decided and what we all should remember if we tend to get a little obsessive about that kind of stuff is that it's okay to change the plan. Sometimes you just have to back up and go, okay, that isn't working, so I'm going to pivot and do this plan instead. So I made a new plan, and I'm going to make 5 things in the month of October, and one of them I don't even have to finish in October. It's for a birthday that's coming up in November. So let me tell you about that first, because it's, you know, it can wait. It is a quiet book for my soon-to-be 1-year-old grandson. Oh, I can't believe he's a year old. I got a request from his mom some months ago for me to make a quiet book for him. That's one of those little activity books. It's made from felt, and it has pages with little felt things on it that you can do. You know, you can, I'll just direct you to this incredible woman that I found on YouTube who makes them, does sew-alongs for them, sells them in her Etsy shop, and also sells the patterns for the pages. So I joined her Patreon account, which means you get a lot of the extra patterns. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to make him a quiet book for his birthday. And speaking of that precious little munchkin, I asked his mom how she was going to dress him up for Halloween, or if she even was. She said, I want him to be a pumpkin. Well, you know, Graham sews, so of course he's going to be a pumpkin. I looked online to find pumpkin costumes, like how to do it, and I even found one in the Big 4 pattern books, but I thought, I don't think I want to buy the pattern. I can do this. I don't need that. So what I did was pulled out McCall's 3665. This is from 2003, and it's got everything you ever want to make for a baby. And I was interested in the pants and the hat. So I'm going to use this for that. I was at Hobby Lobby today and I picked up this fleece for the pumpkin part. Oh, it's going to be so cute. And they live in the mountains of Virginia, so, you know, it's going to be kind of chilly. So this will be nice and cozy. And then I realized I had some green knit, like Kelly Green. So this will be a little hat. The hat is the kind that ties, you know, it's like it's got the two little ears and you just tie them together. So I thought that's going to be precious. So that is Mr. Pumpkin's pumpkin outfit. And his mom, who's daughter number 1, she often will wear a big sloppy sweatshirt and a pair of like joggers. This is a crushed velvet, and I had this crushed velvet in my stash and I didn't know what to do with it. And I thought, what could I do with that? So I pulled it out, and I pulled out McCall's 9529, which is from 1985. It is a Camp Beverly Hills pattern. Big sloppy sweatshirt, like really big and sloppy. So I thought, what if I made that out of this? Kind of cool, huh? To kind of level it up a little bit. So I took a picture of it and I asked her, would you wear this? And she goes, oh, definitely. So I went ahead and cut it out. Did that last night. And I'm going to make that for her. So those are the Virginia people. And then I've got the kid that lives with me. I call her the kid all the time. And she decided that she would like 2 things. She found this when she was shopping for the fabric for the thing that she told me she wanted. And so this was just kind of an afterthought. But she went to this fabric store in Orlando, Florida, and I was so jealous. I was so envious. She'd gone up to see her cat and her sister, but she found this knit and she said, could you make me a cardigan? Because I keep stealing all of yours. And I said, sure. So I'm going to make her a Harper cardigan from that. And then she also wants a tie front robe, kind of in the style of a caftan that's got the big sleeves. So I think I might be able to do this without a pattern. She chose this cotton rayon linen look, and it's really pretty. It's just a beautiful royal blue. And yeah, so she wants those 2 things. And so I put those on the list. So that's the 5 things. That's it. And lastly, for the sewing, I got some happy mail last week, and I got this right after I had published Friday Sews, so I couldn't tell you about it. But Dara sent me the Laura Ashley book of home decorating, which came out in 1985, and this is a pristine copy. I know books. This was never read. And she knows that I love Laura Ashley. She saw it at a thrift store and grabbed it for me. And so, Dara, thank you so much. You know, the way you all think of me, I know I've raved and gushed and everything, but this just means so much to me that you know that I collect and love Laura Ashley. And you were so kind enough to send this to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And then Nancy Dooley, who I met, she found this, came into possession of this. I'm not sure how. She talks about it on one of her Friday Sews. She decided to send it to me. And I think that's because she knows that I grew up and did a lot of sewing in 4-H. And so this is a 4-H circular. It's called Let's Sew. This belonged to Carla Wright, who was 11 years old. She lived in Troy, Ohio, and she was part of the Bitsy Bees, something bees 4-H club. And now I was in 4-H in the late 1960s, early 1970s. So I think this must have been from the 50s. It does talk about all kinds of sewing. The photo of a little girl doing that, she's wearing saddle shoes. So this tells me that probably it is 1950. All of the kind of things that women and girls were taught back then, and has become a lost art in many ways. So you all, thank you so much for sending me that kind of stuff in the mail. One other thing that I'd gotten in the mail and I talked about before was this Laura Ashley catalog from 1994. And if you would ever like for me to flip through this and show you, I would be happy to do that. That would be my pleasure. So let me know in the comments whether or not you'd be interested in that. With regard to life, I have not had a haircut. I promise. I haven't had a haircut. My hair is the same hair that it's been all along. It's just straight. But some of you commented and said, hey, oh, I love your haircut. And what haircut? No haircut. And that's all of life. The question for this week is, the seasons are changing and the colors are changing, both in the northern and in the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, it's fall or autumn. And in the southern hemisphere, it's spring. So you have all of the leaves falling and going out in a blaze of glory with reds and golds and greens and browns and all of the things. And down south, you have the budding of the trees. Everything is turning green and lush and so full of life. And cool in both places. But I was just curious to know what your favorite colors were for the season. Now, I am not a fan of fall. I hate fall. I'm sorry. There is no other way to put it. I just hate fall because fall is a time when things are dying for me. And I never liked fall where I lived. It meant that it was going to get cold and gray and ugly outside, and I hated that. Spring, on the other hand, I absolutely adore because it is when life explodes everywhere. So, yeah, I don't have any love for the fall colors. I can appreciate them, but they're not my favorites. My favorites are the spring colors. I am going to leave you with my prayer card for this week from Psalm 145:13. The Lord always keeps his promises. Boy, I cannot even begin to tell you how many times he has kept a promise to me, when he has been faithful to me, when he has been there, when he has saved me, both emotionally, 3 or 4 times, physically, literally physically. I should have died a couple of times in my life, not more than a couple actually. But he keeps his promises. The promises that we read in the Bible, he keeps those. They don't change. They don't change. Something to depend on. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, I would love for you to do that. And welcome to all of you who are new. I know there's a fair amount of you, and I am so happy that you're here to join in the sewing community with Friday Sews, or just here on Today in Jen's Sewing Room. I'm really happy about that. Welcome. Say hi in the comments. And that's it for now for me. I will see you next time, and thanks for watching.